Hi Cancer, welcome to your April 2019 Lenormand Spread. I'm Jade with Yes, Yes, Yes. Welcome back. And if you are brand new, welcome to the channel. Let me tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a Lenormand Spread with this Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck. And I'm gonna lay down all 36 cards. They have been pre-shuffled. And I'm gonna lay them down in what's called a Grand Tableau reading. We're gonna look at health, your wealth, your job, and love. So very general reading. If you're interested in getting a personal reading, give me a moment here. That information is in the box below. It's my website link. What we would do is we'd look at this, reading, and then I would do one personally for you as well. So, first of all, let me just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Cancer. I am so grateful for you, all of your feedback, your likes, and your shares, and your subscribes. This is such a great journey, and I'm really appreciating spending time with you doing this. Hopefully I'm laying these out straight. I tend to be a little cockeyed for some reason. But anyway, so I'm so grateful to be here with you as always, and thank you for your support of the channel. It's been an amazing journey. I love hearing what you have to say and how these readings can resonate and help you. You know, there's so many readers out there, so I'm really grateful that you're here with me. And I hope that you find peace and clarity in whatever your situation is, because that's, you know, what we all want. It's also kind of exciting to look at things and, you know, coming down the line, down through the pipeline, but ultimately it's up to you. And that's kind of how I feel like all readings are, is that, you know, you take what resonates, and if it doesn't, you just leave it, and it's up to you to decide, you know, if you want things to turn out in a certain way, then you just make the choice and take action in that direction. So that's what we're here to do, is talk about those things and then give advice as to how to move forward in that way. So here we are. First, let me look at if there's any of the cards in their own houses. Give me a moment to count. Okay, so nothing's in its own house, totally fine. It just gives another flavor. What I want to talk about right now is what's going on for you in your action. What are you bringing to the world? How are you feeling in general as far as your action goes? We'll talk about feelings in a second. So what I'm seeing right now is that you might be in a place of authority. Okay, you might be, you know, you might be the boss at a job. You might have actually just had to go on some business trips, something along those lines, or you might be just thinking about your finances a lot and really making sure that those are on point and really making investments that will be here for the long term. There's some, you know, you might have signed a contract even to do so. But what I'm feeling is that, you know, even if these are long-term choices that you're making, if it's a job, maybe it's a new job that was a long-term job, or a new investment that was a long-term investment, it's going to take some time for it to come to fruition for you. And I don't know if this is something that you were looking at where, you know, you're not going to get your returns right away. There does seem to be some challenges and some slow going for it. You know, there's definitely the potential for it being something new that will work out for you. It's just going to be a little bit longer, but there is stability there in the long term. And you might even make some friends, make some, you might turn into a loyal creature because of this. So, you know, this could be a new partnership deal that you've made, looking at something, you know, wanting to build your legacy, wanting to build for the long term. It is going to take a little bit of time. It may feel like you are, you know, you might even be questioning already, did I make the right choice? What I'm seeing here is that it is setting you up for stability in the long term, okay? So you can trust this choice that you've made, if it's a financial choice or if it was a work choice. This is one of my work cards. There's another one that I'm not seeing, but we'll talk about that. Emotionally, what's going on is I feel like there might have been some deception, and it's possible that it had ended in the past, but there was definitely some type of deception, some type of, well, okay, I'll do this in two ways. You could be a very sexy woman, or there could have been a very sexy woman in your past. And that could, there could have been some transformation that had happened, that occurred because of this connection. And this is usually a dark-haired woman, somebody, Scorpio-like, very much into the sensuality and the depths and the darkness and the shadow work. And I feel like, this could have been feeling like it was a soulmate connection or a twin flame connection. Now, the other thing is that this could be you. You could be that sultry, sexy, and that's totally possible. I don't want to take that away from you. And there could have been something that had transformed you in the past to get to that place. And now you might be in a new place because of that transformation. And this would just be, transforming your sexiness into something that might have been healthier. Maybe you had made choices in the past that were detrimental to your health, detrimental to your, maybe you said yes to people in relationship that really would have been better to say no, or you had a bunch of one-night stands. You know what I mean? Like there's some kind of change in behavior pattern from the past to get you to a healthier place. Now, the other way to look at it is there was some kind of deception, somebody else in the past. I'm feeling like that has transformed you. There's been some ending, that energy has been cut to get you again to this healthier place. You're still reflecting on it. You're still looking back on it. But I know that this reflection, this process that you're going through is really the answer for you to get to that healthier way of being. It's your choice ultimately, but it probably felt like crap, what you were going through. This person might have, if this is another person who is just, deceitful and tricking you and manipulative, or, this would be the narcissist, all those negative ways of being, it would have been an awful situation. And it, it's entirely possible that it felt really like it was a soulmate or a twin flame relationship, something that was destined, and that could have been why you allowed for that trespass for as long as you did. But I think that recently you ultimately ended that so that you could go to a healthier way of being. Congratulations. That's a tough thing to do, Cancer. And I know that you guys have been through a lot. I tend to coach you on maintaining your love for yourself above all, because I know that you give your love to everyone first, but this is you giving your love to yourself first, which is beautiful. Well done. All right, now let's talk about health. Let me look. Oh, it's right there. Duh. Okay, so your health is actually something that you're looking towards, right? So if you're healing from whatever situation, if it's even, you're healing from this, new job situation, or this new investment thing that's got you a little tripped up, you're really moving towards a more healthy way of being. There are choices that you're making. Those are coming up for you, where you could decide, okay, I'm going to do, bar fitness versus, this cardio kick program or whatever. So it could be, physical nature is what we're talking about. It can also be new dietary programming. So maybe you're considering going vegan or raw or something like that. Or maybe you want to say, forget all that. I just want to eat meat and potatoes. I believe that's just fine. Whatever it works best for you, but I think you're considering that. This is towards the very end, so I think that's what's really going on for you, is that you're gonna, this is where you're gonna land at the end of the month. Right now you're kind of feeling soft and open, and then towards the end I think you're gonna be doing a lot more of that work of deciding what is healthy for you. What is healthy for a Cancer? What is heart healthy? What is body healthy? What is emotional healthy? I think you're really going through all of these questions, which is brilliant and perfect for you at this point. Now your money, we've had some challenges and we're still kind of in those challenges, okay? So I'm feeling that you might have had, it could have even been financial, a family burden. Some kind of something came out that created more of a financial burden for you. I usually attribute this card to the family, even though, you know, we don't have that family card right next to it. This is learned stuff, right? This is stuff that you take on, you don't come with. This is other people's stuff that gets put onto you. And there was some nervousness and some anxiety about it. I think it got really public. So there could have been a public secret that came out in your family. This could have been a burden that you've been holding on to or that you've been bearing for quite some time. Maybe it was a financial burden initially, or it's something that has turned into a financial burden. But you're even emotionally kind of caught up in this, and you're really trying to see it for the truth of what it is. So you want this secret to come out. You want this information to be known, and you want this burdensome issue to end. This could be pulling on your finances. So if it is where you're supporting someone else secretively, it could even be, you know, this relationship. Maybe there was some, you know, you gave some money to that person and you're trying to get it back, or you're just trying to cut the ties with it. Whatever this burden is in the past, it's becoming known, okay? And it's possible to end it, but it's also possible that it could take you down financially. So just be aware of it, especially if you allow naysayers or you allow this energy to continue. So I know right now you're looking back at this energy and you're wondering, is this person really good for me? Do I want this person in my life? They really love me. It's kind of destined. I'm pretty sure we're twin flames. The truth is that if they were best for you, then they would be helping you. And I'm feeling that right now what's happening is that they are draining you. They're draining you financially and they're draining you emotionally. And it doesn't mean that they can't come back and get themselves together and give you the things that you deserve. But right now, it is not looking pretty. It is looking like you have given yourself and given yourself and given yourself so much so that this person doesn't even know how to take care of themselves. They only know how to receive what you're giving. So it's got to get cut, okay? It needs to be transformed, and this is going to be you taking back your power, because that's the only way to cut out any type of codependency, is for you to remove your power, remove your energy from that, okay? This is tough stuff, but that's, I mean, I don't want to be soft about it, even though we're in a soft place. I just want to be truthful that if this is what's going on, if you're really questioning, if with somebody who's destined, the question is, are they giving to you as much as you're giving to them? And if they're not, you really have to pull back some of your energy to see if they meet you, and if they don't, cut it, right? Like, there's just no reason to even play the game, because it is draining you, and your light is more important than this relationship. Always, 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 Cancer, always. Okay, so finances might be entangled right now. Pull it back, okay? So that's what's going on for you this month. Now, for Jobby Job, we've got both of the cards for Jobby Job, and we have the heart in between them. So this is interesting. So what I'm seeing is that let me look at this. So you might have been committed to yourself in the past, but I'm actually seeing that, you know, this when you are working with somebody who's in an authoritative role over you, the success is where it's coming from, okay? So if you had an idea of doing something on your own in the past, don't put that idea away. It's just that there's going to be more success right now if you work with someone or underneath someone currently. That's what it's looking like. Actually, no, I'm sorry, let me revise that. If you take on this role with someone else. So you might have to take on the role of leadership with someone else. The other thing is that this can sometimes mean family. So if this is a family business, there is some success, but again, it's long-term, and it's going to take some time to develop, okay? So whatever this connection is with an authoritative figure, and I was discussing that earlier, and this, again, could have just been a financial investment. It's just going to take a longer term to develop. Your working for yourself seemed to be fine. I think that there's, you know, the money card is just far, far away is all. So you might have been feeling good doing the work that you were doing, but just not getting the financial rewards. But what I'm feeling is that those financial rewards really come when you step into a role of authority, leadership, or if you are closely able to collaborate with somebody who is an A-type personality, okay? When you were, what else was going on here? There was some type of commitment in the past. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, so I'm just going to talk about this whole area here. So your heart, your cunningness, your willingness to think of outside of the box, to be inventive, all of this stuff. You had a really interesting love affair in the past here. I say it's in the past because the person cards are up here. Okay, now. And this could definitely mean this is what has happened, is it turned into this negative relationship. But in the past, it was very sweet. You had commitment, you have the softness and openness of love, you have support. Sure, there might have been some underlying red flags that came through, a little bit of nervousness because of that, but I am feeling that there was a change in your heart that happened in the not so near past. And it could have just been from this burden that this person put you under. It could have been that financial burden, but it could have been an emotional burden as well that's just eating away at you. This is the mice card. So you felt good, there was a lot of success with this commitment. It may have been a marriage, it may have just been you guys living together or just having dated for a while. It might have felt like it was this true twin flame relationship. And it was feeling really good. You were doing things maybe differently than you normally would have, even, heart-wise, emotionally-wise. You might have been open in a different way than you normally are. And I think that there was some advantage that was taken. So maybe you saw these red flags, you were open even more so than you might normally have been, and then you've gotten burned because of it. That's kind of what the cards are showing. And Cancer, I know that you're open anyway, so to be even more open, I'm like, no, Cancer, no, don't do it, because we love and we want to be in love, and I get that, but you really got to guard this heart. So something just cut you down about this, and I think now that you're going into this role of trying to protect yourself, and it's harsh. So be aware of that too, that there's no reason to go from one extreme to the other where you're so soft that there's advantage being taken, or then being so harsh that no one can get in, okay? So, and we kind of have those two roles that are being played here. Just try to forgive this person. You do have to cut them out if they're still around, so cut that out, so that you can get to a more healing place, like we talked about earlier. There's the potential for this new journey, and this new softened journey is there. It's just that you really have to realize that it's going to be a longer road, maybe a more isolated road than you had wanted. So I'm not seeing new love. I'm seeing that you got to cut this one out so that you can make space to heal, so that you could welcome in something new, perhaps in the next month or two, or whoever knows however long I do these readings monthly. But Cancer, that's what I'm seeing, is that this is a tough emotional month for you, and it's gotta cut it before it cuts you down, and you might already feel cut down. And I'm gonna send some love to you because of that right now. Because I do love me some Cancers. Okay, you're my sister sign. So, well, you're my neighbor sign, I should say. Okay, so this is what I have for you, Cancer. Let me know how it resonates. If you have any questions, because this one was a doozy, let me know in the comments section. If you want a personal reading, if you want to go into more depth, we'll start with this reading, and then I would pull one specifically for you, which might show us what happens when we cut all this out, when we soften our heart, what comes forward, even talk more about those finances. So all of that can be gone into in more depth if you want to visit my website in the box below. And for now, I'm going to send you all my love. Thanks, Cancer.